Legend, Dave?
Well, Dave, this is the new aircraft from American Legend, and what it is we took the best of the American Legend, which is the #1 American-produced light sport aircraft, and we've added a Lycoming O-233, which is the new engine from Lycoming. That's a multi-fuel engine, and we've also put flaps on it, and we've made a whole lot of improvements and changes to the interior to make it more modern.
Now this must be one of the first aircraft in the light sport category then to take this engine.
It is. It's actually the second aircraft in the category, but it's the first American-made aircraft to take the Lycoming O-233.
Now, why did Lycoming come out with this engine? What's different about this engine?
Well, this engine is actually a fantastic engine. It's a multi-fuel capable engine, so you can burn automotive gasoline, including gasoline containing ethanol, and so you're not reliant on 100 low lead. Also, Lycoming lightened up the O-235 that's been available for many years, and made it a lightweight engine. It comes in at 208 pounds, which is substantially lighter than the original O-235.
Now, is it also a fuel-injected engine, or are they carbureted as well?
This particular one is carbureted, and there is an option available for fuel injection. We haven't seen that one yet. Yes, being a Lycoming, this engine will be very familiar to all the A&Ps and AMEs that are around, and LAMEs in Australia that are around the world. They're very familiar with Lycoming and aircraft products from that company. One of the big things about aircraft around the world is the limited availability of 100 low lead and avgas. There's quite a great availability of Jet A and also of automotive gasoline, and this engine opens up all those parts of the world that currently don't have 100 low lead.
And also the maintenance aspect of it.
Yeah, with the Lycoming, it's got 2,400 hours TBO, and the way the airplane is built, it'll definitely go to TBO and probably beyond.
Is there a difference in performance using this engine from the older engine type?
Yeah, there is. However, there's only so fast you can make a Cub, and a Cub goes at about 100 miles an hour, and that's about it. It doesn't matter how much horsepower you put on it. So the improvement is going to come in takeoff performance and in climb performance, and we expect to see about another 100 to 150 feet per minute in climb, and a reduction of around 10 to 15% in takeoff roll.
Now you also mentioned this is the first one that has flaps on it.
That's right. People have been asking for flaps on the Legend for quite a while. I keep telling them that we have what we call slip flaps. You just learn how to slip the airplane. So this one actually has 50 degrees of flaps, and there's 3 notches available.
This airplane has also got a few other accessories on it, Dave.
Yes, it has. It's got these are Alaska bush wheels, and we're actually working on an Alaska edition of this airplane. We've put a baggage door on the baggage compartment. We've made the seats foldable so you can get good access to the rear. And the Alaska edition will contain an oversized baggage compartment with tubes for firearms and fishing poles.
So you mentioned something about the interior. Maybe we can just go in and have a look at that.
Absolutely. Let's go.
This is really nicely finished off, Dave. What are some of the improvements that they've done on it?
Well, what we've done is we've made the interior more modern, and we've listened to what things that people like about Cubs and what they don't like. And one of the things that we've done is we've made a new body-conforming seat. So this is just like your office chair that you can sit in for hours. It's got the very comfortable netting, so it breathes and you don't get that sweaty back that sometimes you get from flying long periods. It's also got very good lumbar support here and very good support down at the bottom. It's also adjustable, so having an adjustable seat is something that's important to some people, particularly those people that are quite tall. In the back we've got this identical seat. This one is fixed in the back, and the seat folds down to get into the baggage area. We've also got a baggage door on the right hand side, and we're working on that Alaska edition. So the Alaska edition will have a tube here for your firearms and fishing poles.
Now that area, how much could you actually put back in there?
The placarded amount is 40 pounds, but we're working on extending that up to an undetermined amount at the moment.
What kind of restraining system do they have on it, Dave?
We use a very neat Schroth system, and it's an inertia reel harness and it comes from the back, so you get a 4-point inertial reel system holding you in front and back.
And when you say inertia reel, that means that you can actually lean forward to adjust something or look at an instrument panel or something like that.
That's right. The inertia reel, just like this, it just like an automotive, it can move forward and back pretty easily. But if you make a sudden movement, it'll lock you in.
Now, how do you deploy the flaps on the airplane?
The flap is actually deployed using a flap panel, and it's up at a high level on the left-hand side, and you can see that the flaps come down here, and we've got 50 degrees of flap available. So that's very good for steepening your approach if you're getting into a narrow area.
Dave, that tubing up there really looks like it's over-engineered for this type of an airplane.
Yeah, it is. We've taken a very conservative approach to the engineering of this aircraft. The frame is actually based on the Super Cub, the original Super Cub, which had a design weight of 1,800 pounds, and all the tube sizes on this aircraft are identical to the Super Cub. All the locations are the same. The only differences we've made is we've made the cockpit that 3 inches wider, put the door on both sides, but the size of the tubing is identical to a Super Cub, which is as I say, a much heavier airplane. The other thing we've done is we've incorporated some of the features that and improvements that people have added to the Super Cubs over the years. In Alaska, they found the original Super Cub just had one tube across the top here, and in Alaska they found that if they landed in trees or had to do an emergency in trees, the top of the fuselage was the weak point and the fuselage caved in. But if they added the additional diagonal brace, the wings became the weak point and the occupants were protected. So we've added several of those little features to the aircraft in the name of safety.
Visibility is also quite nice in this. It looks, the skylight is a standard piece of equipment?
Yes, the skylight is all standard. So the glass goes all the way back to this station on the aircraft, and it's tinted glass on the top and on the sides, and then standard glass on the doors and on the front. And that gives great visibility in all directions. It's almost like flying an old L4 from World War II.
Now, can you open and close the doors in flight?
Oh, absolutely. And you can. The beauty about this airplane is you can have a door on both sides. So it's like riding a Harley-Davidson motorcycle that you can cut the wind out if it's getting too chilly for you.
And we're talking Alaska, so you've got to be talking float country. This airplane has to be built for float.
Yes, it does. We've got float attach points here on the aircraft, and the float testing will be the last thing in the testing program of this aircraft.
Now, you also mentioned that they've done a lot of carbon fiber, or added a lot of carbon fiber to the airplane.
Yeah, because the Lycoming is a little bit heavier than the Continental, we looked at all the, and we're also adding flaps, we looked at all the places that we could save weight using carbon fiber. We've put carbon fiber on the doors here, as you can see there, and all the seat frames are also, this molded seat is also carbon fiber. And if you look at the interior, Dave, you can also see that the floorboards and center console are also carbon fiber. And then there's various pieces and fairings on the aircraft that we've also lightened up using carbon fiber.
How are these airplanes offered to the market then?
These aircraft are offered two ways, well actually three ways. They're offered as a finished ready-to-fly aircraft with an SLSA certificate. They're also offered as an experimental amateur built and also as an ELSA. So there's three ways that people can get these aircraft.
And how many are actually up and flying now?
Legend has 220 airplanes out there. Approximately 180 are SLSA factory-built airplanes, and the remainder are split between experimental amateur builds and ELSAs.
And how many different models do you have?
Well, we have two basic models, the standard Legend Cub, and this is the Super Legend. And the standard Legend breaks down two ways. You have an open cowl or you have a closed cowl. Most people opt for the open cowl because they're looking for the nostalgia as opposed to the real modern look of the closed cowl.
Now, this looks initially like a plain dash until you get into the centerpiece there.
Yeah, well, this is a Garmin 696 GPS. We also offer this with the Garmin 3X system and the Dynon Skyview. This is the panel that we brought to the show because this is the panel that we think that most people will purchase.
Now, how do you steer the airplane on the ground? It has a steerable tail wheel?
It has a steerable tail wheel. This particular airplane also has heel brakes, and toe brakes are an option in this airplane. So for traditional Super Cub people, they can stick with the heel brakes, and for somebody that's not so used to heel brakes, they can order with toe brakes.
Now, because it has two doors, how are you operating the throttle system?
The throttle system is on the left-hand wall. Here's the throttle for the front seat occupant, and here's the throttle for the rear seat occupant down here. And it also has the carburetor And you've got the dual control systems, and the trim is accessible from both seats. It's here on the left-hand side.
And I can see that you've got a fuel gauge up in the wing there?
Yes, we have 32 gallons of fuel usable on this aircraft, so it's good for getting out to the back country and getting all the way back without having the need to fill up.
Now, how soon before this is actually into production, the first airplane's delivered?
The first airplanes are going to be delivered at Sebring 2012, which is only 5 months away, and we've got a pretty aggressive program to put the aircraft through all the testing and also the destructive testing on the wings and fuselage that have to be done before then.
So if somebody wanted to get more information, what's the easiest way to get in touch with you?
The best place to go obviously is the website. That's legend, legend.aero, A-E-R-O. They can also contact myself at 903-348-1519. That's my cell number. Or they can ring the factory at 903-885-7000.
And where are you physically located?
We're located in Sulphur Springs, Texas, which is 70 miles east of Dallas. So if you'd like to come and visit the factory, we're always welcome visitors. It's a very short drive from DFW out to our location.
Now, how long have you actually been producing airplanes now?
We've been producing airplanes since 2005. The company was founded in 2004 when the light sport rule was announced. And 2 airplanes were taken to Sun and Fun 2005, wherein the light sport rule became law. And we took 16 orders at that time, and we've been in business ever since. And Legend is all about having, safe, fun flying. It's all about the sights and the smells and the sounds at 500 feet with the doors open. It's really like having a Harley Davidson with wings. And of course, the beauty about it, it's having an open cockpit. The beauty about it is you can get sealed up when it's a little bit cold.
Thank you very much for your time.
You're very welcome, Dave.
Subscribe to the Light Sport and Ultralight Flyer web video magazine with hundreds and hundreds of videos now online, including airshow coverage, Rotax engine tech tips, Rotax 377, 447, 503, 532, and 582 engine rebuilding videos, each 2 hours in length, propeller maintenance, advisories and repairs, VRS parachute saves, Bing carb updates, and much, much more. Get a yearly subscription at www.ultralightflyer.com.